You're like at a it's like a time machine. You're like 20 seconds into the past.
I am.
Uh good, good morning out west. Good
Yes.
afternoon in the east. How's everybody doing? How you
Technically, I'm
doing?
3 hours in the past. So,
You are technically like geographically you are 3 hours in the past. But I think when it comes to StreamYard, you're like 30 seconds in the past too.
that's okay.
So it's it's very weird how this delay kind of stuff works. It always freaks me out. So
I know.
um you
I
doing
know. It
okay
scares me. I'm
otherwise?
always afraid that I'm like enjoying the music and people are like catching me doing some weird stuff, like picking my nose or something before the show.
Yeah. See, that's the old trick. You do the knuckle, and then you put it in your nose, and they're like, "Oh, you're picking your nose." You go, "Ha ha, psych." Um, happy Star Wars Day to you. Uh,
Yes, may the fourth be with you. Happy Star Wars Day.
one ring to rule them all. Sorry, that was a
You mixed
mashup. I did,
Trekkie. That's wrong.
and then I did Lord of the Rings too on May the 4th.
Oh
Um,
no. You're going to hell. Like not just regular hell, you're going to hell.
Randy says she's getting the thunderstorms where she's at. Isn't she? Are you in the Northwest, Brandy? Isn't that right? I think so.
Ooh.
Kay's here.
Hi,
Amberly, how
Kay.
you doing? Dolores. Uh,
Amber.
all all our all our favorites are here.
See, me and Amber,
Um,
we're like, we get each other. She's always living in the past. Same here. I feel the same.
I hear Amber is doing like some awesome things behind the scenes with Kerberos too. So she is just like a mean working machine. So
She's been making
appreciate
graphics.
appreciate your efforts, Amber. You were awesome sauce, as the kids used to say. I don't think they say that anymore though.
No.
I'm not down with today's lingo. I still say cool and groovy. So
They say it's that's based now.
it's
Um,
based like a turkey.
yeah,
So
exactly.
um based. There's a
Based.
there's a graphic for that coming soon, as a matter of fact. Teaser.
Teaser.
Uh
Oh, Arkansas.
yeah.
Brandy's in
Aw.
Arkansas.
Oh, Brandy's in Arkansas. Oh, okay. That makes sense. Look at that. Look at Amber. She's like, thank you. Thank you, honey.
Oh
Uh
wow, Devora is here. So that's Joe Firestone's daughter. She's so beautiful and she's so smart. I absolutely love her. She's gorgeous and a highly intelligent person. Hi, Devora.
she has red hair too, so I immediately trust her.
That's right.
So us us gingers have to stick together.
That's right.
But if you color your hair though, then you're a traitor. Then you're just a poser. We can't have that. So
Oh,
rules are rules. I don't make those rules. There's a committee. Anyway, get started with things, huh? Are you doing anything for today for Star Wars Day? You're not really like into that too much, are you? Star Wars. You like
well,
Star
no, but
Wars?
I am into Star Wars a little bit. I'm mostly, as I'm a gamer, so my Fortnite gaming, there is actually some Star Wars stuff going on in there today. Lightsabers and some fun little stuff in Fortnite. So I'll probably be playing with some of my friends today. Yesterday was a 1 year anniversary. A little boy had passed away and his favorite character was Spider-Man and he played a lot of Fortnite. So we all dressed up as Spider-Man last night for that. And then we're going to do some Star Wars stuff for him today as well. So yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Um, I don't really have. I think I was telling you, I don't really have any Star Wars stuff. I'm more of a Trekkie, but there is this old man that likes to yell at children. I see him on the street sometimes, and he kind of looks like Yoda. So that's probably the closest we're gonna get to any sort of Star Wars business around here. So
Mm-hmm.
whatever you do today, if you're celebrating, be responsible because it's May the 4th, not May the 5th. That's tomorrow.
That's right.
Cinco de Mayo tomorrow. So watch out for that.
That's right.
Yeah, totally different from May the 4th. So
Yeah. I mean, well,
anyway,
what are you going to do for tomorrow? Are you going to have some margaritas? What are you doing for Cinco de Mayo?
Oh, I got some paint thinner around here. I'm probably gonna. No, wait a minute. What? So, actually,
I
I
just
don't
got
really.
Tide
I don't.
Pods. Let's have a party.
Tide Pods. They're like eggs, only they're real clean. I taste depression.
I
Uh,
taste depression.
what am I doing with my life? Eating Tide Pods.
I know, right?
Um, I don't know. I usually try to stay out of harm's way on Cinco de Mayo. So
Right.
I may just I'm kind of a teetotaler too these days. I may go get me one of my tall boy cores. Oh, tomorrow on my show Extra Bowl, I'm gonna have Jesse Jett and Big Mad Crab is going to be on there. We're going to do another
Oh,
music
cool.
show. So I may have my tall boy of Coors Banquet beer
Mhm.
that I enjoy so much. Um, so that'll probably be it. That'll be the extent of me boozing it up. So
Cool.
um, we should probably get to the news, right? That's what people are here for. I mean,
Yes.
sure, they're here for you. They're definitely not here for me,
They're here for you.
which is fine.
Yeah,
Oh,
for sure.
you're too much. You plus I'm gonna do some math. You plus me equals too much. Um, that was awful. I don't know why I said that.
It's okay. We're here for corny
Uh,
dad jokes, so I'm here for it.
Sweet. So let's get to the serious stuff here. We'll get this out of the way. So the leaked Supreme Court document. It's got everybody about possibly overturning Roe v. Wade. I know we've talked. I think maybe Sakura may have talked
No,
about
me and
this
Daniel
earlier.
did it yesterday.
Oh, you and Daniel yesterday. That's
Yeah.
right. Um, but so of course, with leaked documents like that, there's going to be protests as well.
Mhm.
Let me pull this up real quick. But first, we'll get to the protests in just a second. But right now, this is happening in Oklahoma. So I think we mentioned this a few weeks back about the Oklahoma governor signing a ban on abortions after 6 weeks of pregnancy. Say that they were going to do that, but now they have officially done it, and the law takes place or it takes effect immediately. Um, Governor Kevin Stitt signed the bill yesterday. It bans abortion after 6 weeks, immediately outlawing almost all abortion cases in the state. Um, the law passed by the Republican led legislature relies on private citizens to sue providers or anyone who aids or abets an abortion after 6 weeks to be enforced. It's modeled after a Texas law that has withstood legal challenges since it took effect in the state, in that state back in September. Um, it takes immediate effect once with the governor's signature, so there's no waiting period like there normally is um, for some of these things signed by a governor of a state. So um, the Oklahoma Supreme Court earlier yesterday declined to block its enforcement pending the outcome of litigation challenging it. So once again, this is going to be challenged, just like all the other ones are. And with the thing with Roe v. Wade, like you guys were talking about yesterday, um, this was just a leaked draft.
Right.
Um, this was not like a final decree by the court. Um, they're looking at maybe a few months down the road them actually making a decision on that. So in the meantime, it's still intact, but that did not stop a lot of people yesterday. We've got some video here from protests uh, from the coast to coast, basically New York, DC, and LA. And let's just take a look at a little bit of that.
A society that didn't support my mother doesn't deserve to exist. The weight of this moment made for tense exchanges in front of the Supreme Court.
Thousands of protesters on both sides of this debate, acutely aware of what's at stake.
I feel like this is a moment in history. We do not think we need abortion to be successful, and abortion hurts women, and women deserve a lot better than that.
I feel frustrated and also confused. I don't really understand why people care. What other people do with their bodies.
Demonstrators set up speakers to listen to the proceedings here, but competing chants drown much of it out. The court is weighing arguments on a Mississippi law that bans abortion after 15 weeks. It's a challenge to the landmark Roe versus Wade decision, which prevents states from banning abortion before the point of fetal viability, roughly the 23 or 24-week mark.
Abortion bans have got to go!
It's unclear if the majority will go further and overturn the Roe versus Wade decision, which would allow states to ban abortion outright. Anti-abortion activists are more hopeful than ever, as the 3 judges appointed by former President Donald Trump appear sympathetic to their cause.
It certainly is the best chance in a generation. If the justices are true to their oath to uphold and defend the Constitution, Roe will be overturned.
Good evening. The LAPD has issued a citywide tactical alert. We are here at 5th and Broadway, where the LAPD has just cleared the scene about 15 minutes ago. They had the entire area taped off after a clash between protesters and police officers. Now, you're taking a look at some video from Skyfox that we got earlier this evening. You can see dozens of protesters are in the streets. And according to the LAPD, 1 officer was injured in this clash. We don't know the extent of the officer's injuries, and we also don't know how the officer was injured. We also don't know if protesters were also injured in this clash, but this is all following a large and peaceful protest in downtown Los Angeles for abortion rights.
There are so many people, the NYPD estimates about 3,000 at least, that cell signals are hard to get out of in the middle of Foley Square. It is a lot. There's a lot of energy at Foley Square at this moment, and a lot of outrage. We've spoken to so many women who are saying that this is the time to fight, that this is the time to stand up and fight for the right to abortion in light of this leaked draft opinion from Justice Samuel Alito. New York State Attorney General Letitia James, in a startling and energetic and passionate disclosure, she told about her own personal experience several years ago while she was on the New York City Council when she too had an abortion. She told this crowd this is a 5-alarm fire and it is time to fight. Take a listen.
We will not go backwards. We will not go back into those days when we used wire hangers. Not now, not ever. The right to control our bodies is a fundamental right enshrined in the 14th Amendment. And if they go after this right, who's next?
Yeah, so a lot of protests going on around the country. My buddy Colin Radix, who's also my independent news network brother, he was out at the Supreme Court yesterday getting video from that. A lot of impassioned speeches that were taking place, and this is this is something. These are similar to what was happening almost 50 years ago, back in '73, when Roe v. Wade was decided. And you're starting to see a lot of similarities between then and now, and a kind of a sense of urgency, seeing how Democrats have had control of the government at various points in that time during that 50 years, and could have codified it into law, but have failed to do so. So,
Right.
it's.
Yep. I know I couldn't really see the video that well because I'm like lagging like crazy, but I had a friend, Angelica Dueñas, I believe she's running for office out in LA. She was down in those protests last night, and they were saying that the police had blockaded the protesters and wouldn't let them leave. So I don't know exactly. I think it said something about a police officer was hurt or a sheriff was hurt or something. So I don't know exactly what happened. All I know is that they were blockading even the protesters from leaving the area last night was the last thing I heard before she stopped recording. So I don't know.
Yeah, I heard I think a police officer got hurt. They didn't mention anything about any other injuries, and I don't think they made any arrests either. So
Okay, good.
so things got. I mean, DC, New York was relatively uh, tame as far as like police involvement. LA is always there's always going to be that element because of the police out there a little bit more aggressive, for lack of a better term. So, um, but this whole leaked document thing that they were talking about,
Right.
the leaking this draft, that's never happened
No,
before.
no,
Uh, in
absolutely
in
not.
the in the history of the Supreme Court in the United States, it has never happened. So 2022 being the suspicious year that it is, we all have our put on our little tinfoil hats to figure out why a leak now, and
I know. Are
what
they gonna
who's
treat
to,
this person like a whistleblower?
right. I mean, and who stands to gain from a leak like this? I mean, if you're talking about
Well,
uh,
Democrats do. It's Democrats absolutely gain from a leak like this. I mean, if you want to start putting on the tinfoil hat, if anything, the Democrats releasing something like that gets people pumped up to vote for them by the primaries. I mean, they're not even voting for this for a couple more months. So, like right around the primary time, and that's just enough time to trump up support for the Democrats to get them to vote for the primaries to screw over any liable third party option or progressive Democrats that are still, running for that. So if anything, it helps them like, oh no, this is bad. You have to vote for us to get it passed, even though, they've had however long to try to get it passed and they haven't. I mean, even Obama had the chance and they said it wasn't part of his priority list. So yeah.
Yeah, that's a good point, because when Obama took office, they had the super majority. That means they didn't have to worry about a filibuster.
Yep.
They could have passed basically anything they wanted to. And I think during the campaign, uh, Obama had said that was a priority of his. But then once he took office, of course, like most presidents and other politicians, priorities seem to go out the window, and it's the standard business as usual as far as like bureaucracy and doing for the donors and that sort of thing.
Mm-hmm.
But the GOP is a little bit suspicious about this too, and they want some answers too. So
Right.
GOP is demanding a
Weird as
probe.
well too. Like I don't trust them either because they're all about conspiracy theories and all that. Like they're okay. Like the hypocrisy of it to me is like the GOP and conservatives are all for Julian Assange and freeing Julian Assange and all the rest of the whistleblowers. So like why are they wanting to get down to the nitty gritty of who did this and get this guy in trouble? Like if you're a whistleblower, you should do it on all fronts, no matter what, even if it's bad for you.
This is totally unrelated, but I just noticed this. If you look on the screen here and you look to the right there, you see the Supreme Court, and then it says, "What is Roe v. Wade, the landmark abortion access case?" And there's a guy. It looks like he's a tiny guy walking on the barricade. I just wanted to point that out. That just I always like to find little oddities like that. I just noticed that. So anyway, kind of freaks me out. He's like teeny tiny. But yeah, no, I'm right there with you. I don't really trust any of these fools, especially like the GOP. They've been notorious. The only good thing about what the GOP has done in recent years is they're pretty much out front about telling you the fuckery that they're going to attempt on people, whereas the Democrats like to make you think they're not, but their actions speak otherwise. So so Republican lawmakers are demanding the federal investigation into who leaked the draft, and it has rocked Washington and infuriated conservatives who said the breach was designed to intimidate the court and called for the person responsible to be caught and prosecuted. So that's kind of interesting in and of itself, to intimidate the court, right? So, and I had to think about this for just a second. It's like, well, how could that intimidate the court? Well, if they were keeping this under wraps and they were going to I mean, everybody knew that this case was before the Supreme Court, right? But there you have one side who said, oh, well, it's a 6-3 conservative court, they're going to overturn it. And then you had others who said, well, let's wait and see. So to put this out here, like I said, yeah, it does benefit Democrats who are going to polls on Democrats keeping the House and Senate are paltry at best. Biden himself, the president, has historic popularity lows. So the Dems are in a real, as the scholars call, a real shit pickle. And something like this, if it could maybe get more people out to the polls to scare people into voting more. I mean, like I said, that's just I'm just like spitballing here, but in recent years, with all the kind of crazy things the government has done and how the political parties have acted, it wouldn't be surprising. So they're calling for the person responsible to be caught and prosecuted. So you have Senator Marsha Blackburn from Tennessee calling in an attack on the court. A Supreme Court spokesperson said that the document that was leaked is, quote, authentic. And this was first reported by Politico. And so there seems to be some sort of question, too, as to whether this document is really, truly authentic. It could be. I mean, like I said, it could be. I don't know. I don't really want to go down the rabbit hole because we only have an hour.
So, well, the judge said that it is authentic, but it is just a draft right now, and there is room for change if they want to. If things can change by then. Just as of now, that's what the first draft is about. Which I don't know. It doesn't seem like they're going to change their stance, because even they're saying like this whole intimidation thing and they're saying they're not going to be intimidated by whatever happens, even protests and things like that is not going to change their views. So I don't know. We'll see. It seems like political theater, but there's always in the back of your head like this could really happen.
Right. And I was reading this article earlier. I was going to include this in there, but I thought, well, I'll just mention it. So Senator Susan Collins out of Maine, she's very perplexed by this, because she said when she was discussing, I think with Kavanaugh and Gorsuch, I believe, were two of Trump's appointees.
Mm-hmm.
She said she had talked to them, and they said that they had they really weren't leaning towards going in this direction of overturning Roe v. Wade. So I find that kind of interesting too, that a Republican senator is told by conservative justice nominees that, nah, don't worry, we're fine. And then they get in there and all of a sudden, they change their tune. Ted Cruz, little Eddie Munster, he chimed in too.
Eddie Munster.
He is, man. I don't know. That's for the old schoolers out there.
That's a good one. I never thought about that.
Eddie Munster, he looks like Grandpa from the Addams Family too. I like to say he's kind of like that mushed up looking face thing going on.
Mm-hmm.
He's called for an FBI investigation into the leak and said the person responsible should be prosecuted and should go to jail for a very long time. It's utterly stunning that anyone at the court would leak a draft opinion. In over 200 years of our nation's history, that has never happened, and I'm appalled. And then he said he had the vapors, and he waved cool air onto his face with his hand.
He's appalled because this got leaked while his fucking entire state was like without power, and he was down in Mexico vacationing. Come on.
He was trying to clutch pearls, but he wasn't wearing pearls to clutch. So that was kind of a fruitless effort too. Yeah. So this is some crazy business. So I don't know how far an official investigation hasn't, as far as I know, hasn't happened yet. But it could totally happen.
Yeah.
Depends.
They always
Uh,
love to waste their money on pointless investigations, so bound to happen.
well,
I
think
mean, now
about
that the Russiagate thing is over, they're gonna do something. Republicans' turn. So
well, think about this too. Like, if they decide to investigate, if they decide to wait until after November, and then the House and or the Senate gets reverted back to Republican control, then they could really just go, balls to the wall
Yep.
with this. But
calling it
right
now,
now, I get
calling that now. Okay. The GOP
yeah.
is going to take control of either the House or the Senate, and then the Democrats are going to start screaming like, "We got to start winning so we can have control and get changes." It's a rinse and repeat. It's the same shit, different day.
Randy, you're highbrow. We expect much better from people
No,
like you. I'm very lowbrow.
This was perfect.
No, I mean it is. I mean it's perfect. But I'm just saying though, from the mouths of babes, you really, I'm just saying. I hold Brandy in high standards. So anyway,
That's right.
That was a little
Not all
disappointing.
superheroes work.
Well, and one more thing on this. So apparently there's going to be some companies that are so basically if Roe v. Wade gets overturned, right? So they're going to leave it up to the states, and we're looking at like probably half of the states in the country are more than likely going to just out and out ban abortion, right? Meanwhile, other states are like your more liberal states are going to keep it. So companies are looking into this as well. So companies will help staff in red states to bypass abortion bans. So what's happening? So yeah, like I think it's a little over 25 states that will be facing out and out abortion bans if they overturn Roe v. Wade. Amazon is one of these companies. They say they're going to cover employees' travel costs to seek abortion care in the neighboring states, whatnot. The company told staff it would pay up to $4,000 in travel expenses annually for medical treatments, including abortions, according to a message seen by Reuters. Amazon spokesperson confirmed the nature of the Reuters report. So Amazon's going to be joining groups like Citigroup, Yelp, Uber, and Lyft to help employees bypass Republican-led efforts in several states to effectively ban abortion, and it comes just hours after. So this just happened yesterday, I believe, or maybe it may have happened Monday night. I'm not sure, but do you remember? I think this was in Texas, and correct me if I'm wrong. So people were like the ban went into effect in Texas, and people were going, I think, to like Oklahoma at the time before they signed it recently, their own ban. And I think like Texas was like calling on people like to like bounties, like they were going after these people who were like, they were going after the people who were taking people who wanted an abortion out of state, I believe. So they were putting like bounties on these people, and that's just some scary shit right there. I when you start that's some like dystopian shit that you see in like these movies where it's very authoritarian, and you have like these pockets of you see these like movies or TV shows that do like this, like the Texas region of the United States, or it's just, instead of the 50 states, it's all broken up into like regions, and they have like their own warlords and bosses and stuff, and it's just it's getting scary to the point where civilization is just going to break down because of shit like this,
Yep, absolutely.
Yeah. So like I said, we'll have to see what the court says. There is a chance that they won't overturn it. Like you said, it's just a draft. Who knows what's going to happen between now and the couple months coming down the road. So,
Right.
we had elections yesterday in Ohio.
Yes.
With these hands.
I know. The comment section's already like off the hook about it. They're like, bring it on. Let's talk about this.
Hello, somebody.
Oh.
Don't spoil it yet. So yeah, no, I'm not making light of it. It's there's really two camps that was on there's Team Nina that were trying to get her to get in, and had a lot of respect for her, had a lot of hopes for her to go in and kind of bring the real ruckus. But I don't think that's going to happen, at least not
No.
anytime soon.
No.
Unfortunately. So, would you like to talk about this? Or do you want me to?
Okay, so Chantel Brown defeats Nina Turner last night in the Ohio race. Once again, fending off progressive Nina Turner, who mounted a rematch against her. They faced off last August in the Democratic special election primary to replace Marcia Fudge, who left her seat in Congress to serve as Secretary of Housing and Urban Development. The race attracted swells of outside spending and drew tense divides between the moderate and progressive wings of the Democratic Party. While the match was quieter, the fissures that emerged during last year's contest remained. Blah, blah, blah. Turner, however, still drew some endorsements like Bernie Sanders and a number of outside groups. She argued Brown was too dependent on PAC money, that she was a more active fighter for progressives' legislative priorities. Ohio's 11th district is heavily Democratic, meaning Brown is likely to face was likely to face little contest from Republican, or will face little contest from Republican nominee. Turner, meanwhile, isn't expected to disappear from the world of progressive politics. Her name has been floated. I watched the video. I don't think that she's going to run as a 2024 candidate, but I think that she might find somebody who is and just going to back them and run for, like help them run. But they're saying that she's floating as a 2024 presidency run, with questions remaining on whether Biden will run for re-election. Of course he will. Yeah, like I said, I watched that video. I think that what she's going to do is find somebody who is running and go, back them up. Maybe if Bernie's deciding to run again, she'll probably back him up. I think it'd be really cool to have like a Marianne Williamson, Nina Turner ticket. I think that would be really neat. Just saying.
Well, I was watching a little bit of Status Coup last night with Jordan Chariton. And Jordan's been covering her race pretty extensively too. And towards the end, once the end of the night, I think they were at her campaign headquarters, or they were someplace that they were gonna either declare victory or concede, and of course she did the latter. And he did. I mean, say what you will about Jordan. Jordan did ask a couple of good questions about because she did mention 2024, and he asked her. He said, are you planning on running for president in 2024? And she kind of hemmed and hawed, and she kind of gave the old political answer, the political answer / non-answer. And she said something to the effect of being back in 24, which could mean one of two things. It could be she could be running for president, which doesn't make sense because she can't even win a congressional seat. How is she going to win the presidency? But that is a whole different kettle of fish than a congressional seat, the presidency.
Yeah,
So,
and they were saying that if she does, she might run on an independent ticket, which would be really cool to see. I mean, obviously, a lot of people are like, that's not the way to do it, but I like that way. Some of the little story about the race last night was that I like some of the drama that I've been hearing about it was, Nina Turner raised like $100,000 or something like that. She got like a lot of money raised. And then like within like the last, week or so, all these, super PACs and people just started coming in for Chantel Brown. I think even like Joe Biden came in and endorsed her. I think like the only person that really endorsed Nina was Bernie Sanders up until about 12 hours before the end of the election. AOC went and endorsed Nina Turner, which is exactly what AOC does. She just waits until the last minute and then claims that she was a part of it. Totally whatever she does. That's her little thing. But it just seemed like like she was doing really good, and then the Democrats saw that Nina has a chance to win, so they all came in full force to help this Chantel Brown. It's like the cards were stacked against her in the last week, and that just seems like it wasn't even fair for her. That's totally not fair.
Well, it didn't help her either when the Congressional Progressive Caucus endorsed Chantel Brown, right?
Yeah.
And that includes the squad. The squad is in there too. So
yep.
She did, like, he did ask her point blank last night if she ran again, if she was going to run as an independent, and she said she would consider it. My personal opinion is she should probably consider that heavily if she's going to run again, because the Democrats are not going to help her at all.
Nope.
The party has really, as we say down south, the party has showed its ass. All right. And they have a donkey, so they literally showed their ass, but they have shown themselves for who they are, and they are not going to allow real progressive people
nope.
to flourish into the party. And then people have their opinions about her, Nina herself too, how progressive she was. She was anti BDS, so a lot that kind of rubbed a lot of people the wrong way. I don't know how that would have. I don't think that would have made. I think she may have made those announcements about being anti-BDS because of the heavy Jewish population in their district. That could have been a campaign strategy that, obviously didn't work. Because I think she lost by
when
like 40 points or something.
Yeah, that's why APEC went and put in a bunch of money into Chantel Brown's campaign, is because of that whole thing.
Right. And so if you're gonna do that as a strategy, it's kind of like when you have a conservative Democrat running against a Republican for a seat or for office. It's like they're going to choose the real Republican over the fake Republican, and it just seems like to me Nina had a chance. I personally, she should have read the tea leaves from last time. There was talk that it was an off year midterm, and that no, it actually wasn't an off year. It was during the presidential run that she lost, but she barely lost, and that this time more people were and it's all that stuff was bullshit. She ended up getting hammered worse this time than she did last time. So there's no way that she should be running as a Democrat at all. And I don't think I think I'm with you. I don't think she's going to run for president. She might run for Congress one more time, maybe as an independent. I don't know, but I'm thinking she should probably do what you said you think she's going to do, and just back someone else and help them with theirs, right, at least till the winds start changing, and maybe things will start going more in her favor. But right now it's politics wise, everything is very caustic. Nobody likes the Republicans, nobody likes the Democrats, and half the country, half the voters in this country recognize themselves as independents. So why, I don't know why you wouldn't want to go that route. Maybe it's easier to get campaign funds in a party. That's probably true, but then you're going to have to make deals with the devil. And I don't know if people would want that or not. So,
running a campaign is super hard, especially if you don't even know what you're doing. Like if you've never done this before, that's why when I ran as a Democrat, because there was no way that I was going to get any kind of help on what to do. Like, how do I fundraise? Like, how do you even start to do that? How do you get your name out there? What do you have to do to get people to know who you are? So like, I totally understand why people think they need that to, like they need to join the Democrats to get into that help. But, I think with a lot of us who have joined or who have ran as Democrat and has gotten that help, I think a lot of us have enough knowledge now to where we can start helping out third party candidates and give them the advice that they need to run a decent campaign. Yeah, it's probably not going to be a winning campaign at first, but eventually we're going to find out the tips and tricks of what to do by the mistakes and the lessons that we make by, making those mistakes and the lessons that we learn from them. So we're starting to, that's just the biggest problem, is not having that advice of what to do to run a campaign.
Devora made a pretty good point here, and this actually sounds pretty feasible too. That she says, I think she should go for governor, or as an indie, or both, or as VP with someone else. Although if she ran as VP, I'm not quite sure who the if we're talking Marianne Williamson, the orbs and crystal lady. Okay, so she's interesting, for sure. That's the thing, that if Joe doesn't run again in 2024, he says he's going to run, but that's still 2 years away. Anything can happen. He could just change his mind, but that Democratic field is weak as well water. I mean, I'll tell you, I think Marianne Williamson would have a better shot, but who's probably going to lurk back into the picture is probably Hillary. Hillary's probably she's gonna creepy crawly right back in there, and hey, y'all remember me, right? Come on, Grease the charm. So yeah, so if she ran as VP for somebody said Bernie might run again. I don't think Bernie's gonna run again. I think that was just wishful thinking. He'll be like 86 or something like that. Come on, seriously. I'm not ageist, but I am getting old, and I know my old people, and yeah, he probably shouldn't be doing that. So
yeah, well, if he runs as a Democrat again, that's it. Like, there's a lot of people that can agree with me on that if he runs as a Democrat, no, because then that's third time proving that you're not going to win, but you're still getting people to have to sign up and vote as a Democrat and be registered as a Democrat. If anything, he's benefiting the Democrats who don't need to be benefited. They've screwed him over 2 elections in a row. Like, if he does it again and runs again this time as a Democrat, I'll know, like, nah, you ain't making me fall for it again. Not happening.
It's very similar to the Nina Turner situation. She's lost twice as a Democrat. What do you got to lose? Go independent. You'll probably get more votes than you would as a Democrat. And same with Bernie. I mean, I think that would be, I don't know. I'm very skeptical about electoral politics as it is. And if he ran as a Democrat, I'd be like, no, I want nothing to do with that. But if he ran as an independent, that would be intriguing to see what would happen. So
right, I wouldn't be door knocking or anything that I used to do back in the day. Give up my wedding anniversary to go door knocking for Bernie or phone banking for Bernie. Like, I would not give up my life again for Bernie. Absolutely not. But of course, I would watch. I would happily watch.
Yeah,
I would, sit in the background on my bed eating popcorn. Like, yay! That's it.
I'd be eating popcorn. I guess I want to see because it could be something great, or it could be like a total shit show. Either way, I'm pretty sure it'd be pretty entertaining. But there was also so that was part of the Ohio primaries that was going on yesterday. So the Republicans had theirs too, and I think there was one of the big names in there was J.D. Vance. Who won the GOP nominee. I think he's going to be running against Eric, what's his face, from Ohio. Oh my God, I can't believe this. We'll get to that in a second. But speaking of, I think he's a he's one of Trump's boys. And speaking of which, Trump still getting majority GOP support, so you can't rule him out in 2024 either. 6 and 10. This is a poll that just recently came out. 6 and 10 Republicans back former President Donald Trump as their party's leader, slightly more than the share of Democrats who line up behind Biden as the Dem party leader. So they've been kind of touting him as Trump as kind of a kingmaker, particularly in Ohio. Trump's influence is extensive. 60% of Republicans and Republican-leaning independents say the GOP should follow his leadership, while 34% prefer a new direction. Support for Trump within the GOP has held up since he left office. The 60% who favors leadership now is essentially the same as it was in an ABC Post poll in mid-January of last year, 57%, right after the January 6th incident at the Capitol. Let's see here. Let me see if so today, one of the most watched races pitted J.D. Vance in the Ohio Republican primary for U.S. Senate against several other front runners. I believe he did win that race. And what was the Eric? What's it? Not Swalwell. It was Eric Turner. No, I'll have to look that up. But I think Democrats are sweating now because of this. Because even though people hate Trump, he still has influence with a great swath of people. Let me look up something real quick here, because that is going to bug the poopies out of me. To who he would be facing, and it's the incumbent is in Ohio. Not Eric. It's Democrat Tim Ryan. Tim Ryan, you may remember, had a brief run for president back in 2020. He was in there for like 5 minutes and then said, "I go. Thanks for everything. I'm going to take these candy and fruit out of the green room. I'm going to leave." So they're going to be facing off. And Ohio is kind of a mystery, and Ohio was back in 2004 when John Kerry was running for president against Bush. That was the deciding state. Bush ended up winning Ohio, and then he ended up getting reelected. And John Kerry went back to his wife, the ketchup mogul, Heinz, and then he eventually became Secretary of State under Obama. So
wait, John Kerry's the Heinz lady?
Yeah, he's making that ketchup money, kid. Ketchup delicious. Yeah,
so
yes.
Tell them to lower the amount of bugs they can put into the ketchup. It's so gross.
I think for all the people who are think that they're reptilians, they probably put extra bugs in that ketchup, so
they're
so
like
they can
enjoy
it.
Is ridiculous. Like through the processing machines of the ketchup machines and stuff, like the amount of bug feces and particles that are allowed to get in there is so disgusting. You never even want to buy ketchup. Don't buy ketchup. It's so gross.
Right? Is it ketchup or is it catsup? How do you spell it? It's ketchup like I don't even know what catsup is. If there's cats in ketchup, count me out. I like honey mustard anyway, so I kind of stay away from that kind of thing. I like fried tomatoes. Those are pretty good. I think we're gonna leave out this story. We'll go straight to the closer, as it were. So, last night protests in LA, right, for abortion rights, but led to some violence that was going on. There was also some violence at the Hollywood Bowl. Performers there included Dave Chappelle, bunch of comics, and then craziness ensued. I know you've been dying to do this story today. So,
Me and my
I heard about
celebrity.
this right? I heard about this morning. Do you want me to play the video first and then you talk about it? Or what do you want to do?
Yeah, let's play it.
So this is from TMZ. Doom, doom, doom. I always have to do that for the videos. Uh-oh, that's not right. Wait a minute. What? Where did it go?
Hey, Kim.
Hang on a second. I need my technical difficulties here. So last night, while I'm looking this up, they had. You go ahead and tell them what happened.
Okay. Dave Chappelle was doing a comedy sketch last night, and it sounded like he was in the process of thanking people that were there for the show, and some guy just runs up on stage and headbutts him right in the chest or the stomach. It was like, I'm not condoning violence or anything, but that shit was hilarious. That shit was so funny. Like, as a person, I was saying this earlier, somebody who's worked in a haunted house, I've accidentally done that, like running through a hallway thinking I can like make it in between two people, and I've like head first right into somebody's stomach. That shit hurts. It is not fun whatsoever. So that guy did not pick the right thing to do when he ran into Dave Chappelle like that. It was that's a painful thing to do.
Apparently, he had a fake, like a one of those 3D printer gun things. Anyway, let's see if we can get let's see if we can watch the video on this.
Behind me on the DJ table is one of the most prolific producers that hip hop has ever presented, the mighty Mad Lib. Ladies and gentlemen, make some noise for hip hop history.
Uh-oh, wrong move. Wrong move.
Boom!
I am going to kill them. Wait, I gotta see this.
So there they have him against the back wall there. And I think he said I think they said Dave got some licks in. He might have got some licks in as well. Yeah, so
just goes to show you that Dave Chappelle's not a fighter. He could have fought him at first, but he had to fight him when all of his friends were there holding the guy down while he's already down. Like, come on.
God, that was clumsy.
Right? So, and the thing about that too is, so there was fears from the Oscars. What was it last month? Month before last, when Will Smith got up and smacked Chris Rock, that violence might start happening to other comics around the country, and and sure enough, here's this guy, Hollywood Bowl, gets on stage. But see, the difference between this guy and Will Smith is Will Smith, they're not going to tackle and beat the hell out of Will Smith at the Oscars. That's not going to happen. Rando dude at the Hollywood Bowl, oh yeah. Somebody's getting the smackdown. And I believe I think there was video afterwards or something. They showed the dude and they were carting him off. They're putting him in the they had to put him in an ambulance because dude I think he got like his shoulder dislocated and maybe like a broken wrist or something like that. He looked messed up. So And that's the thing.
Yeah,
I think
because
a lot of
Dave
these top
Chappelle got some licks on him after they held him down.
right. Yeah. So I don't know, man. I'd probably want some licks too. Somebody beat up, like somebody messed up my set and then like speared me like it was professional wrestling. I want a taste. I want to like put one in it. I'm not a violent person
Yeah,
either.
but see, I would have
But
done it right then and there. Like you saw him, he knocked him down. Dave Chappelle like did a swipe and then run. Like you could just tell that he's not a fighter. Obviously, he's not a fighter. Somebody who's been in a fight before, they can obviously tell if somebody's going to run up on you like that, you're going to grab that dude by the head and you're just going to start punching it while you got a hold of his head in an arm lock. You know, like there's things you can do when you're a fighter. That wasn't fair that he did it after 15 people were holding him down. Like when that guy first headbutted you right into the stomach, that's when you fucking go at it. Like you finish it there. Don't sit there and say, I'm going to kill that dude and then wait for all of your friends to have him down and then go get the punches. Like, I don't know. It just seemed like a cheap shot to me.
you're so violent and I love it.
No,
Um,
I'm not.
you love fisticuffs. Well, you got to remember too, though. I mean, it I don't believe it was scripted. It's not like professional
Nope.
wrestling where these people see this stuff coming. This dude just came out of nowhere. And Dave was probably thinking, you know, he probably in his mind, as far as like security was concerned, that okay, I don't have to worry about that. I got security all around me. You know, I can just do my stand up, and that's what I can concentrate on. And then all, you know, out of the corner of his eye, dude comes at him. I think you and I were talking about this before we went on. We were like, well, I mean, what do you do in that moment, right? Like I said, I'm not in Dave's head. I don't know exactly what he would have done, but if I'm a millionaire comedian headlining a show at the Hollywood Bowl, and somebody just came out of the blue and just like, you know, like a linebacker and hit me, I would be like, that would be like, what the hell just happened? For one thing. Yeah, you would. Yeah, it's kind of a shock. You're just like, you don't really know what's happening exactly. And also you don't know, like they said, the dude had a weapon apparently. He had like a gun or something, but he didn't shoot the gun or anything. Or I don't even think he even produced it, but they found one on him. And so in that moment you're thinking, what's going on? Does this person have any sort of weapon or stuff like that? And then by the time I think Dave figured out what was going on, his bodyguards had already like pulled him away, and then that's when he realized, oh shit, I just got attacked. Fuck this guy. I'm gonna go wail on him too. You know, I guess, but that's just the Southern boy.
Well
in me.
deserved.
You know,
the guy deserved it. He went up on stage and attacked somebody. You deserve to get your ass kicked too. So absolutely.
Yeah, you know, I mean, like I said, like, you know, neither one of us condone violence, but it's at the same time, all this was like boom, 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 and then, you know, you got to be the funny thing was like Chris Rock was on that show too, and I think at one point he comes out and Chris Rock goes, "Was that Will Smith?" So I was like, now that's a funny joke. That was pretty funny. So we leave you with violence on a day like this. On May the 4th be with you, but may a guy with that comes on stage and knocks your ass down, may that person not be with you. So anyway, I guess that's it for today, huh? Did you have fun?
Yes.
Did you learn anything? No? Did you? What'd you learn?
Yeah, I learned that Dave Chappelle doesn't know how to fight.
Touche.
Touche.
So I believe you've got some good stuff in the works for yourself coming up, don't you? You said you were going to be ready for me today when I asked you if you have anything coming up.
I was going to be ready. I was going to have the pictures come up and everything, but no, I didn't. I do have it all right here though. So the pictures are here on my phone. These are like the beautiful amber TV guides that she's making for us with all the shows, every single show that she has. So look for it out on social media. Oh, look for it out on social media so you can see all of them. Like it's she's got one for every day, and then she's making one for every week. So we've got these awesome ones. Today it's Wednesday, so 8 p.m. Eastern. Tonight we have Cup of Joe, and then at 9 p.m. we have the In-Depth Show with Joe Firestone. Tomorrow we've got Dumpy and Cumbins at 9, and on Fridays. Oh my goodness, you guys, we don't have anything on Fridays. If anybody has an idea for shows, if you look on here, we've got a couple that are under construction, one that says like it's the next big thing. So if you guys got a show idea, this is what my passion is, what I love to do is to get people's words out there and to make it look pretty to their, approval at the same time. So like I said, got a show? Hit me up, let me know. We can stick you into any of these time slots, and then you have your own little pretty guide picture in there too, which is really cool.
That's fancy. I like that.
Thanks. That's Amber. Thank you, Amber.
Amber does good work, so we appreciate her. As far as May, tomorrow night, 10. Oh, that's all you got? Nothing
no, what
else?
do you got?
Oh, me? Tomorrow night, Thursday night, 10 p.m. Eastern, on my show, Extra Bulla, Jesse Jett and Greg from Big Mad Crab. We're doing another music show. Greg is going to be on, and he hasn't been on the show before, so we're going to find out how he got into music, and he's one of the guys behind the scenes at INN. He's kind of like our Amber and you combined. He does graphics, he does like video editing and stuff like that, but he's also a hella good musician. And so we're going to be having a good little musical time tomorrow night. On Friday, I believe at 4 p.m. Eastern, the Independent News Network crew is getting together for our 6-month anniversary as INN members, and we're looking forward to that.
Cool.
So our buddy Indy Left is going to be fronting that, and we're all going to be talking about how far we've come, about our channels and that sort of thing. And then my other INN buddies, Reefer After Dark on Friday, and then How Do We Miss That on Sunday night with Indy Left. Indy Left, actually, speaking of Jesse started a new show last night called American, what's it called? American Woman, Stay Away From Me. No, that's not it. Hang on just a second. I'll have it right here. It was
American Tradition.
American Tradition. I always forget the tradition part, but I know it was American something. Thank you. And Jesse's a hell of a good guy. I love Jesse. Very funny, but very musically talented as well.
Yeah.
Finally, yeah. So, and plus, I have the Extra Bulla Secret Show. Usually, it's in the middle of the night, and I give you no warning, and then I just show up like a drunken Santa Claus with presents that you did not ask for, and we usually just talk shit about things going on, and usually I interact with the chat. It's a good time, and so far I've done like 4 of those shows, and I really enjoy those. It's just me, and I'm just I pull up the chat and I say, what do y'all want to talk about, and then we try to get find stuff on the internet to go along with it and stuff, and the kids seem to dig it. It's a good time, and that's it for me. Yeah, thanks. Yeah, I always see you in the chats there. You're very supportive. I appreciate that. So, and a lot of weirdos are in there too, which I love. Love my weirdos. They're such good people. So, let me shout out folks in the chat before we get out of here. Kay and Devora and Ghost Start, Sandy, Jim. Who else we got in there? Dolores, did I say Dolores? Steve Wolfbrand. Steve Wolfbrand making a cameo appearance. Good to see you. Brandy. Atris was here too. Yona, good to see you. Asio Yona. I think that might be everybody. Daniel was here too. Amber, of course. She's who are you calling a weirdo? Lana, you know who the weirdos are. You've been in those, you've seen those chats.
That's
You
right.
know those people in there. I'm not saying they're bad people. I'm just saying they're weirdos. They're my peoples. I'm a weirdo
Proud of
too.
it.
I think that's everybody. So yeah, I like being strange. Normal is just it scares me. So
Yeah.
Yeah, so I guess that's it. Anything else you want to add there, Miss Jimmy?
Nope. That's
No?
it.
All right. Well, you've all been good. Now we're going to leave you. Just like Dad, who went out for cigarettes, but we will come back, unlike Dad. So have a good one. Jimmy and I will see you next week, and keep watching Kerberos Media. Why are you doing the goat noise?
Fatherless Jimmy over here. Bye.
Oh, not ending on sad note. No, you can call me Daddy. Goodbye, everybody.